Hey everybody, welcome back to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and is also preparing for SHOT Show. That's right, next week is insanity. It's craziness, and heads up, there won't be a Monday's video because I'll be traveling to Las Vegas, but there will be a ton of videos from the show showing off all of the cool new Airsoft things. So fear not, that is all going to happen. It's going to be fantastic. So make sure if you guys haven't subscribed, hit the bell button down there, hit the sub button, hit the bell button so you'll be notified. I will be doing some semi-live stuff from the show floor, meaning I'll be filming and immediately uploading so you'll get to see it first from here. Hear all the news from all the different booths and all the cool new stuff. Plus, I'm doing my SHOT Show Viewers' Choice Awards again, which is big news, which means you get to vote on the favorite best things from SHOT Show, all the new items, and the awards actually go to a winner. There's a big trophy. I hand out trophies afterwards. I mail them out to the different companies that win, but it's all voted on by you. So make sure to be a part of that. Voting's only lasts for 1 week from when I put the videos up. The videos will start going live on Wednesday for the actual nominations, and then you'll get to vote, and then they'll close out 1 week out, and I'll announce the winners on the following Monday's show. So anyway, enough of what's going on with SHOT Show and all that, and God, the craziness is getting ready to hit here. Let's dive on into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Call sign Flippy writes, "Hey Jonathan, my local indoor field does not allow Bio BBs, making myself and a friend who have to buy it regular. One employee even confronted me and my teammates about the bag of Bio BBs he had, but could not give a straight answer to why when he was asked why he couldn't use them. Could you enlighten me?" All right, Sean, this one's a tough one. I know some people are concerned about bios maybe being a little more brittle and shatter a bit, but I think that's a load of bunk. There have been a lot of BBs that shatter, even non-bio ones back in the day. I remember Airsoft Elites were kind of notorious in certain weights, like the .23s were notorious for shattering in their own weird way sometimes. So yeah, it's, I don't know. My question to you is, does the field ask you to buy their BBs? That could be it. They maybe want you to purchase theirs, which makes sense because, to be honest, guys, it's tough to run an airsoft field. You don't make a lot of money. It's not like paintball. So for them wanting to buy their BBs, maybe they're trying to make a little extra money, which is understandable. I do understand that. And it also, I do like the idea of having to buy field BBs in this case, because then the players that like to chrono with the low BB and then use a heavy BB to take advantage of jewel creep, specifically like in HPA or gas blowback rifles, and even in AGs, all guns jewel creep, meaning you get more energy the heavier weight BB you put in it, so chrono right at the limits and then weight up your BB to like a 4.3 and use it. That could be a good reason that you have to use a specific weight. But for them just to ask you to use bios, it might be the shattering thing. I don't know. Considering they're sweeping them up and throwing them in a landfill, these things are compostable, and that's what BBs do. I mean, like, a landfill is a compost pile. It breaks down. So they go away. Otherwise, you're just putting plastic in a landfill. I mean, I'm not a big environmental guy, and be like crazy, but, let's all kind of do our part here, right? I mean, just make sure we're doing things. So I don't know why. I would maybe go and ask the owners or ask somebody else why, if you're just kind of curious. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's their choice. It's their field. It's their rule. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. Unfortunately, I mean, just continue to play there, and if they make you run regular BBs, just buy the regular ones. You'll be fine. Chloe Harris writes, "What's your view on the increase of female players in Airsoft? In such a male-dominated sport, it is a little intimidating to get in, but I was welcomed by so many generous players who soon became my teammates and friends even outside the game. Also, what is the reason for the hate on some of us? Some fields I have had have been toxic communities who shooed me away but seem to welcome others who are just as inexperienced as I was." Airsoft can be very fickle. I mean, we're talking, it's a hobby, right? And any kind of weird, quirky hobby is gonna have cliques and groups of people. And I have absolutely experienced toxic communities and seen it firsthand at certain fields. And I've actually been playing, even in my travels, I always keep my eyes open, and I witnessed some players pick or make fun of other players. So I try personally, I mean, I'm not the perfect, trust me, I'm not perfect at all, but I try personally to go find those other players that I heard the ones picking on. I try to go grab them and go play with them. That's just the way I am. When I first started playing, people took me under their wing and taught me the ways, and I've always tried to give back whenever I could. As for female players, I think it's great. I've been seeing quite a few more female players in this hobby and sport, and I think it's fantastic. Yes, it's male dominated. Yes, you're gonna have the typical locker room talk. Yes, you're gonna have idiots who don't know how to act around the opposite sex, and they're gonna be stupid. They're gonna say dumb things. They're gonna be bad. I mean, that's life though, unfortunately. There's a lot of dumb people out there. Typically, if they're opening their mouth and they're saying something stupid or sexist, they've got their own problems. They've got their share of problems of their own in their own life. So I really think that the hobby, and it's great that there is both genders playing, like male and female out there going and shooting and having a lot of fun. In fact, whatever gender you are, I don't care if you're non-binary, whatever it is, go out and play some airsoft. I mean, seriously, this is fun. It gets you off the couch, it lets you go play, it lets you shoot each other. Where else can you shoot each other with a gun that looks real and not go to jail afterwards? But these are plastic BBs anyway. But yeah, I think the fields with the toxic communities, though, you're gonna find those, and those are typically allowed by either the owner or the referee staff. I found the toxic communities, the people that are very toxic are usually friends with the referees, and they're part of that same social circle. So the refs turn that eye and kind of look the other way when things like that happen. That has been my experience. There was a field like that in Nashville, Tennessee. In fact, there were two at one point, now there's just one, that were like that. And I'm not talking about Nashville Airsoft, fantastic field, do not have that problem there. They're great people, oh my gosh. And Bad Karma, the field I grew up on, does not have that problem either. But there was another one. And this one came from the owner. I'm not gonna tell you who it is. For those who are watching who know me, they probably know exactly who it is. But yeah, the problem there came from the owner. The toxicity of the field came from that owner. So yeah, I think that's it. For me, vote with your wallet. Go away, go somewhere else. For me, that field, I played there a couple times, saw the issues firsthand, and I voted with my wallet. I never went back. I'm not gonna go to a place like that. Unfortunately, in some places you don't have that luxury of having multiple fields, so it might be the only one. I would address the problem with the owner, go directly and see what you can get with that. In fact, go as a group, go as individuals, sit down and don't yell and scream, say, hey, look, we wanna discuss a real issue with you. We're hoping you can fix this for us. And lay out your case professionally and intelligently. But aside from that, hey, welcome to the hobby, welcome to the sport. I'm glad you were welcomed in. Some new players are, some new players aren't, regardless of gender. I'm glad you're having a good experience. And remember, pass that good love along. The same love you got when they let in. I'm sure from your question, you already do that already. Pass it on to the next generation. Pass it on to the new players and keep that going. McTrinus writes, hey Jonathan, a new subscriber viewer here. I was wondering what your thoughts were as to when a new player should purchase their gun, especially those of us on a tight budget. Would you recommend a person buy their gear they want for their loadout first, then continue renting the gun from the field, or should we get the gun after we purchase the Face and Eye Pro? I'm all about getting your own gun, but you definitely, I would tell you get the Eye Pro and Face Pro first. Don't skimp on it. Make the investment there. I've gone cheap and many times made mistakes, and now I do run the nicer stuff. I would spend as much as you can afford on Face and Eye Pro and make sure it's comfortable and anti-fog. That is very important for a fantastic experience. You can always rent a gun until you are ready to get your own. Guns can be expensive. You can also get guns on the cheap. You can find them on like apps like Hop Up app. You can buy them through there. You can find them online, although it's a little iffy, not on Facebook anymore, but you can also do in-person trades at fields, like meet your local players, get a chance to use it, shoot it, make sure it works good. So you can pick up a gun. You're gonna wanna pick up brand new Face and Eye Pro. Go full face if you're brand new to this. If you're playing indoors especially, if you're playing outdoors, get something really good. Go full seal. Obviously, you're going to need to do that. Get some good face protection and make sure it's dual pane thermal lenses or dual pane lenses are some magic words there. Something that is very comfortable because it's going to be what you wear every time you go out and play. So for me, definitely buy the protective gear first, then get your gun, then worry about like gear, like chest rigs and all that other junk before you have to get into that. Like worry about like the tactical look and all the stuff later. You can always jam magazines in pockets of a hoodie or the pockets of your pants and go out and play. You don't need fancy tack gear to go play Airsoft, but you do need good Face Pro, and then of course you will need a gun. Rent until you can afford it. Mr. Whiskey writes, hey Jonathan, just out of curiosity, where do you stand on the whole topic of double barrel M4 from Classic Army? Do you like it or is it just and why? All right, I just saw this. If you guys aren't familiar, Classic Army just released a double barrel M4. You've seen double barrel pistols in this, but this is actually an M4 that when you pull the trigger, has 2 barrels left or right. A BB comes out of each barrel. It has 2 magazines, but 1 trigger. It's kind of cool and weird and crazy in the same way. I think it's cool. However, fields that make you play semi-auto, this will violate the semi-auto rule. I personally, if I owned a field, I would probably say no to it, because now every time you pull the trigger, you're hitting your target with 2 BBs instead of 1. That is like a 2-round burst, so I would say no go on it. If your field allows full auto or whatever, then heck yeah, go ahead and do it. Also, because it is 2 barrels, which means 2 pistons, 2 sets of gears, 2 motors. I'm assuming 2 motors, maybe? I don't know. I have to look at it, but there's twice as much to go wrong. I'm sure there's definitely 2 sets of gears, pistons, things like that. I'm sure. Otherwise, you've got 1 motor, 1 set of gears pulling back 2 pistons, which is putting a lot of additional wear and tear. I'll have to dig a little deeper into this gun, maybe get a hold of one and maybe do a full review on it. But I think it's kind of a cool, fun gimmick. I think it's kind of something neat. It's kind of, you want to have something that nobody else has and run with it. Heck, I think it's pretty neat. But it's definitely gimmicky. It's going to be pretty heavy too, I'm sure, because of all the extra weight just to do it. Neat nonetheless, but kind of one of those cool little gimmicky things. All right, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one, oh man, there must have been a write-in campaign for this one, because it was like everybody was recommending it. It was ShootToMiss, the best of 2017 video. Everybody recommended this. I've got one pop up here to show you from Airsoft, which I've recommended in the past. Actually, great channel, by the way, Airsoft. But it was like 20 different people commenting on this. So good job, ShootToMiss, for the campaign, I'm guessing, or you just have a great fan base that loves you a bunch. Either way, it's a fantastic video. I don't put a video up here that I don't think is good. And this one is a good video, so definitely want to check it out. This one of the Southern Florida. I've actually highlighted this channel before. It's not the first time I've done it, and I would love to see some of these subscriber counts really start to move for these channels like this. I think there are a lot of hidden gems out there, and these guys are still just floating around some low numbers, and they deserve so much more for the work and the quality of work they're putting out there. So if you guys want to check it out, it is ShootToMiss channel. Check out the best of 2017. Maybe this will entice you to mash that sub button over there. And of course, if you go watch the video, you like what you see, go ahead and put in the comments section over there that Airsoftology sent you over and you really like what you see. All right, guys and gals, that's it for everything this week. As always, thank you so much for being so cool and helping each other in the comment section below when I can't answer every question. I do read every question every single week, just like I think I had one last week asking about the periscope. I'll be bringing you up next week. I'm going to try to get that in there. Yes, I do read every single time you put it in there. I've seen it so many times. So like everybody who's watching this is going, who are you talking about, Jonathan? They know who I'm talking about, the one of you out there. I do read all the questions. Trust me, I do. But anyway, don't forget to put your question down there. Don't forget to vote up your favorites. And don't forget to tell me great channels and videos, even if they're your own, that you want me to highlight here in the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. Also, I do have a web store, some patches and stuff like the corgis and the logos and some Shruggernaut things like that. A bunch of cool stuff. I'll have a link to the store. It's airsoftology.com/store. I'll put a link up in the corner over here so you guys can check that out and go support the channel by picking up some cool patches at the store to put on your empty Velcro space. So anyway, until next week, go out, play some Airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.